Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of our UI discussion. Back in Bioshock, and this time we're actually going to get into the game and do some hard cuts to scenes where the UI stands out to us so we can actually talk more in depth about it.
That's quite cool. I like that, the logo. Starts off clean and then breaks up. It's quite nice.
That's interesting. You see how those coins flash in the environment.
Yeah, that's very, very useful for really telling a player it's useful or it's important.
Just catching the eye.
I suppose it must be difficult to sort of decide how much is too much for that. It's got to be enough that it stands out without looking very, very obvious.
I noticed with the text on the screen, it's not very intrusive at all. It's like very small, just in this off-center.
Yeah, it does stop you looking around for ages.
Yeah, same with the currency there.
I suppose I want to give you enough knowledge of what's going on, like you've picked up money, like you've got a hint, but without intruding for the it breaks the immersion a little bit having overlays and stuff. So they want to keep it as small and as unintrusive as possible.
Yeah, and there's nothing else on the screen. It's all there's no UI at all right now.
Yeah, so again the coins flashing, but they only flash every so often, probably just enough to catch your eye as you're walking around.
Yeah, there must be something about the timing of how it flashes. I haven't noticed any colour really, except for the buttons that match the controller, like the X there.
Yeah, that does sort of tell you without having to read the button. Because most people see that at the corner of their eyes, that's why they put it down the bottom, haven't they? You just catch out the corner of your eye, blue's X.
I like that all these quotes are in the game, like they're not UI overlays, they just stuck it straight into the game.
Yeah, build them in. It helps also build the world, I guess.
It's diegetic itself. It's not breaking the fourth wall by having a 2D overlay, where it's trying to give you information as the player and as the character.
Yeah, it helps set up a sort of feeling for what's going on and what's going on in the world.
So first of all, the first thing we see for our overlay is the health bar, which is quite obvious. You don't have to look at that and think, I wonder what that is. It's got a heart, which is pretty much a universal symbol for health. And it's red. With colour theory, that's pretty much identified as blood, as organic.
Yeah, very much. Very much. You very rarely see a health bar which is a different colour. I think the only time you ever do is when it's the only thing that you see. If you only ever see your health bar, for example, it can be a different colour. But I mean, usually they are red, and it's something you've come to know as a gamer, I guess.
Yeah, it's universal.
Similar to the menu, it's got a very morning feel to it, doesn't it? I mean, that's the sort of yellow sunlight and the purple shadows, sort of very similar to the main menu system. It's very, again, which I get beginning of games, beginnings, mornings. Which is strange, though, because you come out here and then it seems a lot more sort of like daylight.
Very bright.
Yeah. Whereas before, when you were back in the other place, it was sort of misty. You had more sort of like god rays and that kind of thing. And here's your street. This is the main menu street, isn't it?
Very similar, yeah.
I recognise the sign that was up there at the top.
They must have used this as the basis for it.
And there's a kid playing in the water. So they give you some sense of familiarity with something you've seen before.
With this game, there's a lot of building the feeling of what the city is. It's not directly into action. I mean, even that, there's something must be there, like please wait, as in wait for the action to start.
It's the whole thing we were talking about before with the text laid into the game to tell a story, rather than having, for example, at the beginning of the game, a rolling thing explaining the city.
Continuous pop-ups, yeah.
Yeah, or saying the story of the city is this, and you're in this world. To tell it to you bit by bit, it's quite clever, especially using it in the game. And I think it helps bring a sort of sense. I mean, as a gameplay wise, it's because your character doesn't know where he is. He's in a new place. So if you were to know too much backstory, it would break that a little bit, wouldn't it?
I like when you highlight over usable objects in the environment.
Yeah, that's good as well. Very subtly, but it is enough to tell you you can use it without having to necessarily know that X to open the box. It's still there just in case you miss it, obviously. Again, with the pickup you just had there, you can see it from quite a long way away. always important.
Draws you to it.
Which I quite like because this kind of thing helps progress the narrative as well alongside what you're also learning in the game.
Yeah, that's what I like about this actually. In a lot of games, you would sit there in a main menu system and you'd have to listen to it, and you couldn't do anything else while it was playing. If you left the screen, then it would stop playing the audio log. But in this, it plays while you are playing the game.
Yeah, and
so you don't have to sit there doing nothing. You can take in more information as you go.
Yeah, which is good. And again, you never get confused thinking it's somebody talking to you, because they've obviously got that the play. I didn't quite catch what it was called.
The voxophone.
Yeah, that's the one. And then you've got the overlay of the person's face go onto it, and then it starts to play with So you don't get confused thinking it's someone talking to you and look around.
Even the sound quality. Is
yeah.
Classic, scratchy sounding vinyl. I like that before the game's got into its main action, you have this fair at the beginning. It's teaching you skills that you're going to need as you play the game.
Yeah,
so this is like teaching you how to fire and use the gun mechanics before you even need to use it, and you don't even have a weapon at the moment.
Yeah, so it's a new take on a tutorial.
A bit more fresh.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that you've got that thing at the side there for rules. You don't have something pop up again to say, this is what you have to do to complete this task. The rules are there at the side, so you have to look at them. Like, it's much more immersive again, it's like a real fair.
With just a whisper, they're all ears.
What's interesting about this is when you first go towards this section, the door is locked off and you can't get past. But just the side of it, you've got this woman with behind her there's a sign saying free sample, telling you as a player to come towards her. And then you have a projector as well, which showed this little video, as well as showing you now how it works.
Yeah, very in keeping with, again, rather than having a bunch of text pop up, it's very in keeping with sort of the vibe.
Yeah, and now we have this on the UI in the bottom left corner, which is signifying you have now a power, and the colour for the bar is blue, which is universally in gaming that's like a resource.
It's either mana or shields is another one, sometimes is blue.
Told you.
Yeah, when you depleted your resource just there, it's obviously now flashing.
Yeah, it's gone dull. It's not invading your
Yeah, and using a very
eye line.
desaturated red. I mean, obviously it's got to not compete with your life bar, which is obviously very bright, but it's still got to show you. It's got to get your attention to say you're out of this. You can't use this, so you're not pressing like, why is it not working? Which again is very very important, I think, to have this use your saturation and your brightness of your colours, and how strong they are to help draw your attention to different things. Although you need to draw your attention to the fact you've got a depleted resource, you don't want it to overpower anything else.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be constantly catching your eye at the bottom corner of the screen because again your pickups you won't see. So yeah, it's good that. I mean, I like that they have done that. I like the way it gives you your objectives at the top there, like with the star, and it obviously goes with the whole American sort of theme, very war themed.
Yeah, the red star, like a medal, like a veteran would receive.
Reminds me very much of like a military thing.
Again, it's like very unintrusive because it's in the game, but it's not pausing you from the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like the spatial UI in the game for the NPCs have their health bars above them. Not really overpowering, doesn't take a lot of space. So here's your first vending machine experience, showing that the ability you've picked up you can upgrade.
Yeah, I like
it's all pretty easy to understand.
Yeah, I do like that they've gone with that sort of. It's a vending machine. And they've used the lights and that kind of thing as like to look like a vending machine rather than just. They could do any kind of menu here, but again, keep the immersion. Even though they have to sort of break that for a second to do.
Yeah, it's thematic. It's almost like a casino game with the lights going up. See, now you're really low on health. Any damage you're taking, it's starting to give another overlay around the edge of the screen. Like blood splatters. It's just a warning. It's danger. Like you need health.
Yeah, as if you've missed. I mean, obviously the heart's now flashing at a faster rate the more damage you take.
Yeah, I think there's a subtle way it's showing you where it wants your eyes to move. So there was like a streak of blood across the screen in like the top left side of the viewport. So it's like diverting your eyes up to what's happening there briefly, and then you can see while your eyes are up there, your health is low.
Yeah, it's something that's used quite a lot. Again, obviously, being from a more art background, is leading lines are used quite a lot to help you to tell your viewer what to look at and tell them what you really want them to focus on. And I think, being as that subtle, I mean, the blood comes in from the side. It's it's intrusive enough to tell you something's wrong,
but not enough to stop the events of the gameplay happening.
And something else I noticed a little bit earlier on when we were talking about the health. When you do get something of health, the health thing pops up just in front of your screen and goes up to the health bar, which is good. Because you might not know that whatever you picked up is for health.
Yeah, it pops out. It's in your peripheral vision as well.
See there, the salt does the same thing. It goes down to the bottom, comes up as blue, and it corresponds with the different colours of your life or your salts. And also it helps you tell what it is as well, because you might not have known it was called salt before. When you see it going down, and you know that's your resource now.
Also, it's interesting, like the risk versus reward game design there, where drinking the alcohol gave you health, but also removed salt.
Oh,
and there's also like cigarettes you can find in the game, and if you use them, it gives you salt and removes health. So then, if you're low on one resource, then it gives you the option like, okay, you can get more health or more salt, but we're going to take away other things from you.
It's getting hot. What's going on?
I think something else which has been happening a lot as games have evolved, they've used this a lot more, is the damage indicator that comes up around your reticule. And that's something, I mean, a lot of games do use that now to help sell where the damage is coming from, but I think it's something that you've got used to reading, you don't necessarily notice it.
Yeah, again, it's universal.
And I think if they didn't include that, you'd be spinning around on the spot looking for where people are shooting, because you're used to reading that language.
Yeah, like in old games, you'd be shot, you have no idea where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So you would just sit there, like crouched down behind something, wondering what's shooting you.
Yeah, I remember playing games like that all the time.
Looking around, and in some cases, like they might be behind you.
Yeah, and sometimes they kill you before you even knew where they got to.
Yeah.